Hey guys, it's Amy at Zoe Beck, and I'm going to do my weekly reading update for, what is it? January 27th, 2025. So, Cooper is here, and he is upset because I just got back from grocery shopping, so he thinks it's already time for the couch, but it's not. It's early. So, anyway, it's early on Sunday morning, and my poor brother was sick all week. He had a really bad cold, nothing other than that, but he was out of work most of the week just because he tried to go in and they sent him home because he's one of those people who goes to work like all the time. Like he doesn't skip out or anything. So they sent him home. They were like, you're too sick to be here. So he was off all week, poor guy. I stayed away from him all the way. I did see him today. We went grocery shopping together because he said he was feeling better, and he didn't cough very much. So I'm hoping I don't get sick, but if I come down sick next week, we all know who to blame. Anyway, but he's doing much better. So that's good. Other than that, there's not much else going on. Again, these weeks in January, I just feel like they are the longest weeks ever. Like I feel like we're never gonna get out of January, even though I know we just have another week. But these 5-day weeks kind of hurt after all the holidays. Anyway, so other than that, not much else is going on. So let's just or that I want to talk about kind of things. So let's just go into what I read, what I read, what I'm in the middle of, and what I think I'm going to read in the next week. Because you never know what I'll pick up. Anyway, I'm going to start with my DNF. I DNF'd this yesterday. I was so excited for this book, and I hate when that happens. When a book that's been on my shelf for years, like I bought this at least 4 or 5 years ago, I think. I don't know. It was a while ago. And then I did a try a chapter last year, and this was my favorite one of that batch, and so I knew I wanted to get to it to try it. It's only a duology from what I understood, but anyway, so I thought, okay, I'm gonna read this. I just felt like it yesterday. I'm like, okay, I'm ready for this, and I had to DNF it at 71 pages because I just didn't care, and I was so mad at it because this is an urban fantasy. This is Kojiki by Keith Yatsuhashi. So it sounded so good. It's urban fantasy. So we're following this girl, well, yeah, she's 18. Her father has gone missing, presumed dead, but he leaves her a death poem. He is of Japanese culture, but they're living in the US, and he leaves her a note and a plane ticket that she's supposed to go to Japan to look for these tories and to look for a certain gate. And so she doesn't know really what she's doing, but she's supposed to use her 35mm camera to look at all these tories that are all through Japan and find a gate. And she doesn't understand what she's doing. So, and then within the first chapter, something happens and she finds out something, she finds out the world is not what she thought it was in the first chapter, which was really great, which is why I love this in the try chapter tag that I did for this one. The problem is, as much as I love being dropped into things and I love discovering the world, I still want them to explain the world. I still want I still want backstory. A little, it doesn't have to be a lot. It just need a little bit more. This gave me nothing. This dropped me in the middle of this. We get a little bit about her and her father very, very briefly, just slivers. I don't really even know her when things start happening. All I know is that, she's young, pretty young, and then she's gone because her father's disappeared. She's gone to do this, and so she's grieving her father, and then something, bad happens kind of thing. So this is a book of gods and there's spirits, and there's a lot of, or kami, there's things with Japanese culture that I really enjoyed in here, and it's there's all this stuff in here, and it should really be what I want to read. But 71 pages in, the first couple chapters was Kiko, who is our main character, or who I thought was the main character, and then we get changed to this other guy who's back in the US in Miami, and something else happens there, and they are connected. But there's so much stuff that is being said but doesn't make much sense. And again, I I just don't care enough to continue. I think what this book did is it dropped me into the action, which again can work really well. But the problem is that the characters just aren't like, I don't like the second main character that we're introduced to. I don't care about him right away. I don't like half the stuff he thinks in his head, and it's not like, as I said, he's not. It just doesn't work for me. I guess that this is it. This is just a disappointment. I really was looking forward to this. I've been putting it off because I want to make sure I had time to read it. That, you know, like I didn't want to rush it, and I just didn't like it, and I'm so disappointed. I'm really, really disappointed because I almost bought the second book because I thought, oh, for sure I'm gonna want to binge them back to back, and no. I think there must be people out there who enjoy this. I just didn't like the way it was structured and the way we were getting information. I think to me, I mean, again, I love a book that has a lot of plot, has a lot of stuff going on, and drops you into it. But I also expect the author by 70 pages to have at least gotten me to be worried about these characters. Because right now I don't care. Like the second main character that POV that we're introduced to, I didn't care if he lived or died or, you know, anything happened to him. Like I didn't care, you know. The young girl I still was worried about. But, you know, it just didn't work for me. Anyway, so that was very much a disappointment. So that one, sorry. That'll be unhauled. It was my first DNF of the year. I haven't DNF'd anything yet this year. That was my first DNF, and it's really disappointing because it was a book I was super looking forward to. So, I am going to try this year to pick up the books that I have done a try a chapter on, and they were ones I kept. I want to try to get through them. I think I have like 10 or 15 of those, you know, that I haven't done. And I have all these I have another 50 or 60 first books in series that are urban fantasy, paranormal romance, that I still want to do a try a chapter on. But I need to get through start these series to see if I want to read them. And this one, unfortunately, I'm not keeping that. So anyway, that's just such a disappointment. I really wanted to like that. And I don't, yeah. So I don't know how to, as I said, I really wanted to love them. So anyway, I did finish Iron Flame by Rebecca Yarros. I finished it on Tuesday. I actually listened to a lot of it at work both those days. My workload was good that I was able to do it when I was doing other things. And then I came home on Tuesday to finish the last couple hours because I didn't want to wait till the next morning to listen to the end. So I really enjoyed this. I'm actually really surprised because, again, I started it when it first came out. I had reread Fourth Ring, and then I started this, got 60 pages in, and I was really upset about one character, a new character that had been introduced, and how that was playing out. And if I just read 2 more pages... things would have changed, but I did not read those 2 pages. I stopped, and then I didn't pick the book up for over a year. It's not the book's fault. It was my own fault. I feel like I should have learned my lesson from that, is that I should not have read them back to back. So when I reread Fourth Wing last week, I read another book, or listened to another book in between. I finished off a reread, and then I came to this, and then I took this really slow last week, and then Monday and Tuesday I did read a lot to get through it. And I think I just need to give myself more time. I really enjoy the Imperium series. Again, this is a fantasy romance following Violet, who is thrown into the writer's quadrant. She is forced to go there by her mother, and then it is a deadly school trying to train people to be soldiers and of different kinds, and she is, again, a rider of dragons. And there's, as I said, I really enjoyed Fourth Wing. Iron Flame, I feel almost exactly the same about. Again, she really does put the cliffhangers on the end, so just be aware of that. I really enjoyed this. I'm glad I didn't have to wait after the cliffhanger because Onyx Storm had come out that day that I finished this. But it was, I really enjoyed. So again, I can see criticisms. I understand. I think this book is slightly a little long. I think they could have trimmed a little bit. I think they rushed it just a tad bit by trying to get it out while Fourth Wings was so hyped up and everything. But overall, I still enjoyed this. I still gave this just over a 4.25, kind of like that. I really, really enjoyed this, and I'm glad I finally got to it. I finally can watch some of the memes going around about this, because again, I was spoiled for one major thing in here, which I'm still pissed off. Like, I've ranted about that. I hate people who put spoilers on things. Like again, I'm not going to tell you plot points in here because I want you to experience it. Maybe I didn't get along with something like the last book, but I also think that could be for somebody else. They might really enjoy it, and I just didn't get along with it. I think Fourth Wing, the Iron Flame and Fourth Wing and Onyx Storm now, I mean, people want to spoil things for people, and I think it's just rude to think that everybody's going to get through books just because this book has been out for over a year. And yeah, I didn't get to it. Yeah, I had plenty of opportunities. I read a lot of stuff last year. I just didn't feel like it, so I didn't read it. I didn't want to force it. I mean, I forced it this month because Onyx Storm, but I also got back into the mood for it. Like it worked out. But again, someone majorly spoiled one thing for me. I'm still mad about that because it was a huge thing in this book, and I'm not happy that happened. So that's why, I just feel like people don't, even when you're like, if you're gonna get spoils, give a warning, even on Instagram and Facebook and all those other things. I don't know. I hate when people just blurt out. Anyway, I really enjoyed Iron Wing. Iron Flame. Sorry, Iron Flame. A lot more than I thought I would. I was really concerned because of all the mixed reviews on it. I think it was really well done. I just think it is a tad long. I think she could have taken out a lot of the conflicts. The reason why so much stuff happens in that makes sense, like plot wise. I totally get why that happens or why we need to have that. Like, I don't see anything that was really, really extraneous. I just think it was a tad long. I don't know if we needed everything. You know what I mean? Anyway. And then I finished on Friday my reread of Into the Storm by Taylor Anderson. So I think I started this last week. I don't remember. Had I started it? I don't remember. Anyway, I read it mostly this week. So this is book 1 in the Destroyer Man series. This is an alternate history series where 1942, a 4-stack destroyer that's in the Asiatic Sea theater. They are in a fight for their lives, and they go through a squall, and somehow it sends them to an alternate universe, which is Earth, almost exactly as it is, not quite, but evolution has gone a different route, and there are different creatures that have evolved and not humans. So we are following mostly men from 1942 on this destroyer ship, and they're trying to come to terms with the fact that they are no longer, in the Earth that they know. This is again one of my favorite ensemble cast books of all time, because there are so many characters. So I know the first couple books do not have glossaries or have names of everybody. So there are a few that they have a couple names for each other. They have like what their last name is, and they also have their first name, and then they have their position name, and then they also have nicknames. So there's like a couple of them that are, sometimes I'm like, oh wait, which one is this one? As I said, when you read them, you get to know the characters, but it's just, at first it can be a little confusing. But I just loved this book because you're taking people who are in a mindset in the 1940s and wartime, and they are, thinking things a certain way, and then they get tossed into this other world, and it's still very much a military fantasy / sci-fi, kind of like, it has like a lot, when you're alternate history, a lot of things are, kind of jumbled together. But I just love the ensemble cast and all the characters in this. I just adore. I've reread this book so many times now. But this is the year I'm going to try to get through the books that I have reread before. As I said, I've read the first 4 books before. I've reread the first 2 and 3 like multiple times. And then book 4 I've only read once. So I want to get through all those in the next few months, and then get on to the rest of the series. It's a 15-book series, so it's quite long. But I want to finish this before I try his new series. He has another alternate history one that I can't remember if the guys in that one are from the Civil War. I don't remember, but I haven't looked into it too much. I had the first book I found at a library book sale, but I haven't started that one because I want to get through this one. And I really love these characters. Like, there's the side characters in here are just phenomenal. Like, they're just, some of them are just so funny. I mean, just think about young men, you know, that are kind of a little wild because, you know, I don't know. It's hard to explain. Anyway, I really enjoyed this. Anyway, so I'm going to continue in February by rereading book number 2. But anyway, I really, really loved my reread of that. So that is all I have finished. Which again, Iron Flame was long, so it's not too bad. So yesterday, after I DNF'd Kojiki, I'm still upset about that. I picked up The Fate of Mercy Albin by Wendy Webb. Wendy Webb is like one of those gothic mystery writers that writes around the Great Lakes, usually Lake Superior of some sort, somewhere there. And there's like these ghost stories and family dramas, and it's kind of, they're like, it's usually a woman who is either coming back or going to an area, and then she learns some history at the place that she's at. And again, these are made up places, but she writes them so well. She lives in the area, so of course she, you know, from near the Great Lakes. So she mostly around Lake Superior, as I said. It's just, I really have enjoyed these, all of them. They're 3 or 4 stars, like rating wise. One of them that's a 3-star, I really want to reread because I read that so long ago that I don't remember. But I want to read all of her books. I have still 3 or 4 of them left, and this was one of them. So I'd read the oldest one last year. Her first novel published. So this is her second novel published. So I wanted to read this because I want to get back to getting them reading, because I read a lot of them out of order anyway. So I just like, they're not connected in any way. They're all standalone, so you can pick up any of the ones. I personally really liked, was it The Haunting of Bryn Wilder? I liked that one. And there was, you know, there's a couple other ones that I've liked really well. Anyway, so she is just an author. I've collected all her books. I just got her newest book that I didn't even know was out. So I don't want to read that one yet. I want to read the older ones. So I've had this one sitting on the TBR shelves for a little bit, and I was like, I picked it up a couple of weeks ago thinking I was going to read it, and then I don't remember what happened. I switched to another book. But yesterday I was like, okay, I'm going to try this again and try to see it. And I got right into it. As I said, I'm about 200 pages in. I have 130 left. So I'm hoping to get this done today or tomorrow. You know, it just matters on how today goes with what I'm going to do. Oh my gosh, I'm really enjoying this because again, and this one has a book within a book. So this one is following Grace, who her mother has just passed away, and she comes from a family, has this estate close to Lake Superior near Duluth and stuff. And it doesn't actually say where, like in there, but she talks about she drove through Duluth. So I mean, I don't know if she's on that side or she's on the Superior side, on Wisconsin side. I don't know. Anyway, point is that there's this estate, and so she grew up there, but she has not been back in like 20 years because of stuff that happened in her past, with some deaths in the family. And there's like this talk of a curse because of stuff with the family, and again, there's like spooky element. She's, you know, there's kind of some she likes this little ghostly gothic element so there's a kind of that's in there, like in all her books, which I just adore. I just love them. Anyway, so she is dealing with the death of her mother that looks natural, but you know, she's not quite sure. And she has brought her teenage daughter, who's 16, and they are there for all the funeral and to figure out what they're going to do with the house, with the, you know, pretty much mansion or whatever, you know, the property and stuff. And it's a lot of money and stuff. And so she's now the head of the family, and she was not ready for that and stuff. And there's a lot of stuff going on. There's like one of my favorite characters to hate is a reporter who wants to expose all the bad stuff at the family. And she is getting closer. She's getting help from the pastor that's down the street. You know, that's, you know, there's something going on there with them. And then someone must have broken into the house at one point because her house was searched, her rooms were searched looking for a missing manuscript. So anyway, again, there's a book within a book, so we get part of that book and we get to read a couple of chapters from that as things are happening. I think it's just a fun ride so far. So I'm looking forward to finishing that off today or tomorrow. So, all right. I am reading Onyx Storm as well. So this book, as I said, I did as I said, I think I read all these too close together. I really, really enjoyed so far Onyx Storm. I think I'm 140 pages, I'm 146 pages in. So I am serious. I really am enjoying it, but I had to take a break for the weekend. Like, it's one of those things, because again, I read Fourth Wing, and then I read, I took a day off, and then I started Iron Flame, and then I took the weekend off, and then I finished Iron Flame, and then started Onyx Storm the next day. But I've only been reading when I get up in the morning to go exercise and then drive to work. And then maybe when I drive home, it just depends on the day. So I'm listening to it on audio because I really enjoy, I think it's Rebecca Solar. I really enjoy, I know some people don't like her narration. I'm enjoying it so far. I'm not big into the big casts or the graphic audios. I like, this is just the way I am. Anyway, so I'm really enjoying this. I definitely stopped on Friday at a place where I can jump right back in. If I don't read anything today, because today, again, as I said, the only time I was in the car was with my brother, so I wasn't able to listen to anything. But if I listen to some today, that's good. If not, I will start tomorrow morning when I get up to exercise. And then hopefully at work I can listen to a little bit. The last couple days at work I wasn't able to, just what I was working on. So we'll see. I hope to get this done by the end of the week. Again, I'm still trying to not look for spoilers. I'm really enjoying it so far. I think it's on par with the other two books. I'm not having any problems. I do want to say that of the Fourth Wing series, it is not a 5-star read for me right now. Like, it could be a 5-star series later on. We'll see how things go. But right now it's a real solid 4-star because it's really easy for me to set it down and then not come back to it, for a day or so. Like, I'm not like pressing to read it. And again, to me, they're not 5 stars. So to me, I'm really enjoying myself. I'm having a fun time. They're definitely, I think they're great. Like, I think she's done a really good job. I think this book is, really tight so far. Again, I'm only 145 pages in, but I want to see what happens. It's just over 500 pages. So 540 pages, I think, so, or 530 pages. So I have just under 400 pages left to go. So I have quite a bit. So anyway, so we're going to be working on that. And then the only other thing I'm in the middle of right now is Kallocain by Karen Boye. Again, this is translated from the Swedish by David Macduff. And this is, again, the classic published in 1940. And it's a dystopian, again, with kind of the government taking over people's lives and stuff. Again, very relevant. Anyway, I do not like dystopian. I just read these because I feel like I should have that background of classics wise. I'm still only 43 pages in it. I have not made any progress whatsoever, but I do want to finish this by the end of the month because my TBR for February is just insane. I don't think I'm going to make it. But the point is I want to get done with this. It's really short. I should be able to. So I am going to try again to read some every day between now and Friday to try to get this done. So we will see. I am not enjoying it because of the plot. I think it's written very sparsely. But you also, you can feel the tension. We're following a scientist who we know at the beginning something has happened and he has been arrested or done something. Something's happened to him. But I don't know why yet, because we've gone back in time to kind of see what happened in the days before something happened, and how it affected him and his family and the people around him that he works with and stuff like that. So again, it's just a little boring to me, even though it's really short. I'm just not attracted to it. And again, I wasn't attracted to 1984 or Brave New World or We, or, all the ones I've read, I've made myself read those. And so again, this is a classic I'm making myself read. And I thought by doing it first, I would get it done, but I haven't yet. So hopefully this week I will make some progress. I would love to finish it by the end of the month, but if I don't, I don't. I will get it done at some point. Because there is no audiobook, I have to read it physically, and I'm just like, ugh. Just have to make myself do it. So anyway, I'm going to try to read that this week. So that's all the stuff I'm in the middle of, which again, I'm hoping to finish the Fate of Mercy Albin, and I want to finish Onyx Storm this week. So we'll see. Maybe I can get that other one done too. Anyway, so what I think I'm going to pick up after I finish physically, I mean, again, I'm going to work on Calicain, but there's a couple of books that are in contention for being the next book I read. We'll see what if I can get done. I would like to pick up White Tiger by Jennifer Ashley. This is I don't remember what number. 7 or 8, 9, I don't know. It's in that range. I can't remember, in the Shifters Unbound series. I should have looked that up. I'm sorry. I don't remember what number I'm on. So I have a lot of novels left. I read a lot of the in-between novellas that come before this. So this is my next one I'm supposed to pick up. Again, we're following a White Tiger shifter in this time, and he is different from a lot of the other shifters, because 20 years before, shifters were discovered and they were put into shifter towns, kind of like places where they're kind of confined, and they were collared. And this is one of the uncollared ones. So he has been hiding on the run for years, and then it's his story. So we've gotten glimpses of him in the books before this. So anyway, I do want to read this to continue the series. This is another paranormal romance series that I really want to finish this year or get caught up on. I think she's still writing books for this, but I don't know if there's anything scheduled for this year. But I have like, I don't know, I think I have 4 or 5 novels left and a couple of novellas. I don't know. I still want to do that. So I want to read that, and that's part of my 25 and 25. I'd also like to reread Rosemary and Rue by Shauna McGuire. This is the first book in the October's Day series. So I read this book back in like 2016, maybe before that. I can't remember what year I read it, and I have to look at that back up. But the point is, it's been almost 10 years, not quite, but I think it's almost. And it could be, because it could have been 2014. I don't remember. But the point is that this is following, Toby October Day, and she has had something happen to her years before, and she is just now come back because some magic had kept her trapped for a few years, and then she is coming back to figure out, I think, what happened, and then finding out that everything in her life has changed because, again, she was missing for years. Again, this is a very long series. The one Shauna McGuire, I think it was her first real big series. And again, I love her Wayward Children series. And again, this one I've always wanted to read. I've collected a few of the books here at library book sales here and there. There's a few I'm missing, like book 3, but I want to read at least get book 1 and book 2 read fairly soon to decide if this is a series I do want to collect and get. Because again, I do like her as an author. I've read a lot of her standalones, and I've read, as I said, The Wayward Children is one of my favorite series too. One of those series that I read. And I almost had that on the list for right now, but I'm going to read that probably in, because her last one just came out. Yes, Kitty. Cooper. Anyway, so this is an urban fantasy. I'm really excited for my reread because I don't remember. I remember like images, like little flashes of it, but I don't remember. And I know I started book 2, but I got distracted and then I never got back. And I'm still mad at myself for that because I wanted to read on that series, and that was years ago. And then, we'll see how I feel. Kitty, you are in my way. I do want to read another translated work, which is Welcome to Hunam Dong Bookshop by Hong Bo Rem. This is translated by Shauna Tan. So again, this is more of a feel-good neighborhood kind of thing. A woman was very successful, but then she had kind of a breakdown of some sort. Everything kind of went the wrong way, and then this is her kind of having a bookshop and then getting to know people who come in and people in her neighborhood. So that could be fun. I'd also like to try Flawless by Elsie Silver. This is the first book in the Chestnut Springs series. So again, she is very popular right now. She keeps getting books out. I keep wanting to buy her books, but I'm like, I haven't read one yet. So this one is a cowboy romance. This is following Rhett, who is like one of the top billed bull riders, and he makes some, you know, social media faux pas by saying some things he shouldn't have said about his sponsor and some other things. I haven't figured out quite exactly what happened. And he is forced, his agent makes him so the agent's daughter is a new lawyer, I think she's a lawyer, or maybe that's another book. I don't know, she works for her dad now, and she is forced to be his babysitter. And anyway, I've heard really good things about this romance series. I really want to try it, just because everybody's talking about it, and I have really enjoyed some other books that are been cowboy romances. But we'll see. We'll see what happens. I don't know if I'm gonna read that this week. I don't know what's going to be read. As I said, right now, my goal is Onyx Storm is my audiobook, so we'll see how long that is. I do have 2 audiobooks out from the library that one of them I might not get to because I'm reading Onyx Storm. And then I have another one that's going to be on my February, that I hope to be my first February read. But we'll see how that goes. I'm not sure. We'll see how these all go. Like, again, I don't know how if I'm going to get to, what I'm going to get to read this week. I hope to finish Onyx Storm. I hope to, you know, I'm going to finish The Fate of Mercy Alvin today, probably. Calicane I'd like to finish, and then there's so many other things I need to do. So anyway, that's it. What are you reading? How is your reading going for this week? I do want to make a point of saying that I was doing really good on my book buying. Like, I was doing really good. And then it just kind of went downhill. And I've bought a lot of books in the last week. I was really nice and gifted by Lynn. That was so sweet. She bought me a book, so I'll show that in my book haul. But again, I got Onyx Storm, and then I just started buying books online and at Barnes & Noble yesterday. There's no reason for me to be buying books. I have so many books on my shelf that I want to read, but my brain just did that. I was really good for like 3 weeks, and that's about my limit, it seems like. So I need to find another way to work on my book buying. So a little fail. My book haul will be at least 3 or 4 books more than I expected, which is kind of sad. But they're all good books, and they all books I want to read. So am I really disappointed? I don't know. We'll see. So anyway, let me know how you're doing. How are you doing? Maybe your goals are going better than mine are with the book buying. But we will see. So anyway, I gotta go. My alarm is going off in the kitchen. I'll see you later. Bye.